This one cartel, okay.
dealing with quite various lot of crimes.
Okay. I want to explore this notion of the cartel having infiltrated SAPS with Minister Mchunu at the center. Now, there has been no evidence that has been led in this committee that is showing how Minister Mchunu is linked to the cartel. I know that Honorable Souls and I took a lot of flack for this when people were saying that we're defending minister, but we are purely asking, like we'll ask everybody else, of evidence to support the statements that are being made. Now, all that has been presented to us over the last 6 months or so is WhatsApp messages between Mr. Brown Mkhotsi and Mr. Kat Matlala. Something with Cedric Sebia, Brown Mkhotsi, Kat Matlala. We have yet to see the link directly with Minister Mchunu. There's assumptions, I think, that are made that Brown Mkhotsi would have been instructed by the minister. Mr. Kat Matlala went, swore an affidavit, he doesn't know the minister. Brown Mkhotsi says he was never instructed by the minister. Minister says, no, this one is a comrade or an acquaintance or whatnot. Can you help us here? In fact, the direct questions we were asking them, is the minister part of this drug cartel? And I actually want to quote a short conversation with you, was with Honorable Souls and Lieutenant General Kumar. Honorable Souls asked the minister, asked General Kumar, is Minister Mchunu part of the drug cartel or drug gang in Gauteng? Lieutenant General Kumalo says, as per my affidavit, the involvement of the minister is up to now, where I explained in terms of the links, which are indirect links with the cartel and the investigation. Mr. Saul says, is there a yes or a no? Is there a yes or a no? Is he or is he not part of it? Lieutenant General Kumalo says it's a no. If it's supposed to be a yes or a no, it's a no. Now, I'm putting this to you again, General, because everybody wants us to accept a version without evidence. Where you are sitting now, do you have evidence that Minister Mchunu is part of a drug cartel?
Well, I don't have that evidence, but however, I'm aware that the investigation is underway in terms of the disbandment of the PKTT. You see, the writing of that letter, the objective that is being investigated as to what was the purpose for writing that letter, that is what is under investigation. It's overseen by various others, and I'm sure it will, at the end of the day, it will prove whether what was the purpose for writing that letter at the end of the day.
Yeah, I want to come to the letter, which is going to be my last point anyway, because now Minister Mchunu puts his own version of why he wrote this letter. And I want to start with your evidence that you led before this committee. It was on page, I'm trying to think. It was in your statement where you said, it was, oh, jeez, I can't see anymore. It was page 287, I think paragraph 8.4. And I'm quoting you, you said, I accepted the directive fell within the oversight powers of the minister, but held the view that his insistence on how and when the task team can be deactivated overreached into my constitutional mandate as the National Commissioner of Police to manage and supervise the police service. Is that still your evidence, General?
Still, it won't change. It's still my evidence, honorable member. But what I am saying is the main objective. Still, one don't understand why was he doing it, because he was doing it on a team that is doing the work and productively doing work that they know better.
Okay, let me put a theory to you, and then you'll tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, and again, General, I'm asking you because I'm probably going to put this theory to these comrades of the ANC before we come to the ad hoc. If I were to say to you, my belief is that Minister Mchunu may have acted irrationally. He may have overstepped, not that his action was unlawful, he may have overstepped. And perhaps he may have been misled, but I don't know who could have misled him because we haven't seen any evidence to that effect. Would you think that I am wrong?
I cannot answer it with a yes or no. I don't know. I think he's the best person to can be able to explain that. The crux of the matter here is he disbanded a team that he knows nothing about. He have had nothing about this team, no briefing whatsoever, just wake up and he disband. And he had the opportunity to listen to what is the team doing. So that's where I can stop thinking.
Okay. So finally, no, I still have some few minutes left. General, this issue of expeditious hearings, I think you call them. There's allegations that I think it's called Section 9. I think that it's
9.
Yeah, it's very much abused to remove generals that were officers that you may have issues with. Can you explain to us how it works? Whether, in your view, indeed it's being abused, and whether you think there's any policy gaps that need to be tightened there.
Thanks, Honorable Member. I do not think that the regulation is abused. The regulation was developed for one purpose, that where there is overwhelming evidence of wrongdoing, then Regulation 9 is used. And it has been used. Previously, when that regulation was started, I am one of those that was totally against that regulation. But it was said that even in terms of labor law, it's an acceptable standard that it is. But we have since agreed with the unions now that we are going to dispense with it. Of course, it will be functional until the minister signs new regulations, which we have with the unions agreed. The legal service is drafting it. It's not a policy intervention even that might even require this committee's intervention. But we have already done work around it, and we agree that we don't want to, we are going to do away with it, and that as soon as the legal service finalized, the minister will then be engaged and sign off, and then that is it.
Okay. Had you briefed the minister about the activities at the borders?
Activities at the borders.
Yeah, in the directive, he gave 3 directives, right? In the letter, it was the moratorium on vacancies, and then the issue about the border management authority. I'm trying to think but had you briefed him on those 2 items?
Yeah, he was briefed.
On both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you then came to this decision to investigate the reason for the disbandment of the PKTT, you said you asked him in one meeting, why does he want to disband? Then he said something that you couldn't hear. When you sought to investigate his reasons, I know they sort of fell into your lap, but have you looked for any other possible reason except for the fact that he's a member of a drug cartel?
No, the investigation is still underway. It will be investigation.
So we can't make any conclusive statements that
Not
you're still
now.
investigating.
Investigation is still underway, Honorable Member. It will indicate as to what is.
Thank you, General. You've assisted me because I didn't want us to leave here thinking you are saying you are conclusive. You are still investigating. So we can't make that determination. Let's move on. When Mr. O'Sullivan was testifying here, he says that he received information that on the 3rd of July and the 4th of July at the Police College in Pretoria West, you and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi were putting finishing touches on the presentation General Mkhwanazi would use on the 6th of July. Were you involved in the drafting of that media statement, General?
I think it's the evidence that I gave already that the team came to brief me and I tasked them to work on the presentation for me, and they did work on it.
But then you said General Mkwanazi went further.
Yeah.
So you were not involved in the further. And what did you then do when you realized he went further than what he had briefed you on?
Well, after he have done what he have done, so that was what under the breach, and it was in the public domain. So
is it the same sort of attitude that you had when General Kumalo said 90% of Gauteng is corrupt? Like, was it like, oh, okay, it's water under the bridge?
no, I don't say it's the same matter, but there was no reason for me to chastise him after he have read what he have read. He went overboard. So I didn't see that need.
Okay. In the evidence that you've given here, General Masemola, you don't seem to support this notion that there's lots of corruption in the criminal intelligence secret service account, the so-called slush fund. Is that because you believe that all is well there? I mean, I know you spoke about an unqualified report, but in all this time, so everybody who alleges mismanagement, corruption in the slush fund, do you dispute that?
I don't say all is well. No. What I'm saying is there is some elements of people there that would want to get their hands on the Secret Service account and do their nefarious things. But because they are being blocked, they will always cry out and cry loud that there is corruption, so that everybody attend and go, there is corruption. But when you get there, you don't find any corruption, which in actual fact, they want you to shift those people that are controlling the environment well, so that they can get in and start doing their illicit things.
Okay, so as we're sitting here now, and this is why I was telling you, you know, that we're trying to mop up, you are saying to us, your evidence at this point in time is that the criminal intelligence secret services account is run well, and we would therefore have no basis to come to a conclusion of corruption in the secret services account.
Yeah, no, I did say that currently, yes, there is.
Okay. Security clearance before appointment, how long does this take, and does this not affect your ability to recruit members quite quickly? Is it not hampering the work of the police?
Indeed, it will, Honorable Member. Hence, I spoke to the DG of SSA that he needs to devise means and put much speed and pressure on this, because for now, let's say I think I've got 12 posts that I've given them, but currently I've got quite a lot, over 48 posts of SMS that are vacant that I'm going to advertise. So those must via through them.
Okay,
so
that may be a problem. And then have you signed an MOU already with SIU for lifestyle audits for SMS?
No, we are in the process. Our legal teams are finalizing that.
Okay. General Masemola, how do alerts work in criminal intelligence? I'm asking this because we've heard evidence that said that criminal intelligence, or the SAPS, was informed before the murder of Comrade Sindiso Maka. What happened to that alert, and how was it that Sindiso was still killed when the police were informed before time?
Yeah, well, that also happened before my time, and it also happened before Tungisan Kumalo's time.
Have you looked into it at all, General?
We look into it, we're investigating it, we are on top of the situation. It's just that it's a matter of you can't do D before you do X. So that is a matter of chess that has to happen now. Hence, there is a witness that is in witness protection currently. But we are on top of the situation, on top of the case. It will be resolved. But
And you will give an indication how that lapse happened that we lost Cindy Somakane?
Yeah, I think, yes, at some point that through court processes that will come out, and why, after even that.
Why the police
Yes.
General,